Well, hello, everybody. This is another post-game podcast live stream. All of the buzzwords, Missing Lynx, part of the Hitting the Hardwood Network podcast. And can we have more 6 p.m. starts? Because this is just wonderful. Like being done with the game at 9 o'clock it's just for me, I feel like. But I'm your host, Andrews, beat reporter for ZoneCoverage. I cover the Lynx, Wolves, and women's Gopher team for ZoneCoverage, and now Gopher Hole. So go follow Gopher Hole. That's where my Gophers women's basketball writing will come out. And today I'm joined by Elle Mohs from WCCO. How's it going?
It's good. I am, just living the good life after a Lynx W. A really fun game to watch. So, yeah.
Well, and last time you came on, because you've disclosed it to me now, that you put a lot of time and effort into formulating thoughts and opinions, and then I immediately stepped on it. The first words out of my mouth. Elle, I want you to have the floor first. What was your thoughts, opinions, and moments of the game tonight?
Thank you so much, Andrew. To clarify to our audience, I took notes last time. My top thing that I wanted to make sure that I contributed to the pod, Andrew said right away. And I was like, oh God, I have nothing. Notes are out the window. So tonight we're doing no notes, and I'm just trusting my own eyes of watching the game myself and seeing and just taking in what I took in. And here we go. So I already see that you've titled the podcast what I suggested. Which
you told me I should. Let's just be. You said I have to. So although spelling physical with an F physically pains me, I did do it for you.
I love an alliteration. What can I say? So let's get physical with the fever. That was the theme tonight for me. This was such a physical game with just elbows swinging, especially in the second half. Jess Shepard gets a technical. K-Mac gets a technical. FEE almost got one. It was just like the most physical game. Courtney Williams trying to drive to the basket and just gets like sandwiched between two Fever players and falls to the ground. It was just like a crazy physical game to watch.
It's always jarring how physical the WNBA is, because like they really let them almost commit like crimes on each other. And
Truly.
A lot of the players on this Fever team now, I mean, Sims, Powers, Howard, Dantas were former Lynx players. So you never know if that stuff factors in. The Fever are also, I mean, they are so injury ravaged right now that like really their only way to kind of combat like the talent difference is to get in the mud. Ben in the chat over on Twitter right now just says refs kind of let it get a little out of control. WNBA refs, like I don't think I can get fined for criticizing them. They are just it's tough. What do you think, Elle?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like hung up on the WNBA finals game 5 when Land got called for fouling Stewie, and it like was all ball, and that was truly the game-changing call that gave them the win and the title. So I'm still hung up on that. I mean, I think reffing in the W definitely just feels like it's just like not up to the same level as the NBA reffing. And it's like, I almost feel like once again, like the women are almost getting like the second tier refs that are still learning, which is, you got to learn somehow, but it stinks that there's not like equity in calling those games in the W as there is in the NBA.
They have like below second tier, and this isn't like a knock at, like tiers of refs, but like the reason they don't have good refs is because like the refs union doesn't want to be involved with like the WNBA. So like NBA refs aren't going to do it. College refs are contracted through the NCAA. So like, where are they getting their refs kind of? Ben, real quick. Yes. Land never touched Howard on that elbow. K-Mac on the other hand did
Yeah, that was bad.
She got a piece of haul. That was tough.
For
Kat,
sure.
glad no one got hurt besides Kelsey's lip was swollen. Agreed. Injuries suck. Fever don't need any. The Lynx certainly don't. And then Kat agrees with you, Elle. We all have Game 5 trauma. I think that's
So much trauma.
that's like a trauma bond that will last with Minnesotans for life.
Yeah,
Before we get
just quickly to share some insight from that trauma. I was in New York for that game, and all of us in the Minnesota media side had already wrapped up all of our gear in garbage bags and prepped for the champagne shower and had to unwrap all of our gear. Like, just the trauma of having to just like take off all that duct tape and trash bags and throw it away when you were like excited for what was to come. That's where the trauma lies.
I mean, I did not have to do that. I was sitting on my couch watching from home, and it was one of those things where I just laughed. I mean, like, yep, that's how the WNBA works. They're gonna blow a call. Ben, handful of WNBA refs are actually college refs. A lot of Big Ten, ACC, SEC. That's good to know, actually, because now
that is.
maybe I'll have some familiar faces at Gophers games this year.
Yeah.
Before we break down any more, though, I am going to throw us over to a quick ad read. When we come back from that, we'll we buried the lead 6 minutes already. FEE's back, so we'll break that down. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Lynx podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And Elle, who talks on the phone nowadays, right? Does anyone?
I mean, my parents.
Unless you're Elle's parents. Those are the only people that talk on the phone. And good news, if you want a estimate, if you want, like, if you're like me, let's say, and there is a chunk of drywall missing from one of your walls from when your dog decided to eat it in front of your little brother, and you just have never fixed it, Firehawk Construction now has a website where you can send in your ideas and he can get that process going without you ever having to call. He drafts plans, draws plans, pulls permits, everything, one-stop shop, now with a website and a Facebook page. Go check them out if you have any of those things laying around your house, the nasty projects that just never get finished. I have a lot of them. Anyways, Elle, so FEE is back from her 3-week hiatus, and again, I don't want to steal your talking point, so I'm just going to let you go. Elle, FEE, what is your thoughts?
Wow, I love that I like kind of low-key bullied you into giving me the floor.
If there's one thing that I'm good at, it's getting bullied into like giving up my platform, so it's fine.
Oh man. Okay, well, thank you for the platform here. Here we go. So I can't believe this was not the first thing out of my mouth, but boy, did we miss FEE. It was so good to have her back. And girl came out so strong with 32 points. Like, are you kidding? The defense was next level tonight, as per usual. Defensive player of the year last year. That's what we expect. But like, it's just crazy that there was barely any rust that she had to shake off. Like, she was back in it, and it was so good to see.
Yeah, I mean, FEE 32 points in 31 minutes is obnoxious. Like, truly. She missed 3 weeks of basketball. When she left, she had an ankle injury. She had a shoulder injury. It sounded like her back might have still been giving her issues at times. Comes back, she looked fully healthy. I mean, other than some rock tape on her shoulders, she looked good to go. And there was 11 of 16, 2 from 3. She only had one free throw until the fourth quarter. Then she ended up finishing with 9, but a lot of that was just ticky-tack, weird ref stuff. 9 rebounds. I mean, she was awesome. And I just think it's undersold how hard it is to just step back in and immediately be good like that. And FEE did it. Like a remarkable performance.
100%. Like if there was any question of like who should be MVP this year in the race for it, I know that it's kind of like Alyssa Thomas, of course, Asia Wilson, and then FEE. I mean, FEE tonight proved why she deserves this award. Just the bounce back is crazy.
It's funny too, because Cheryl, first question Terry Horseman from the Next asked her in the press conference was just like, could you have pictured a better return for FEE? And Cheryl's like, well, yeah, I could. Like, FEE's awesome, but this was pretty good. And then Courtney, I think, gave the most like transparent answer of like, I don't like shooting 18 times a game. I want to shoot 10 to 12. FEE's back. I now get to do what I'm comfortable with. I get to shoot less, facilitate more. And everyone looked better with FEE. I mean, BC only shot 5 times, hit 3 of them. It really was just, it's like she never left, which again is just crazy to miss 3 weeks of basketball and just come back with no rust. Courtney also had a bounce back game. I mean, the last time we really saw her play was that Atlanta game where she, airballed the layup. I think we'll call it a layup, and then chunked the inbounds pass and lost it. Apparently she was injured in that game. Cheryl's talked about it a couple times now. Didn't play a ton in Indiana, but then tonight, I mean, masterclass, 10 assists, no turnovers, 14 points, 5 of 11 shooting. I mean, what'd you like out of court tonight?
I think my favorite, so I have 2 things that I loved from her tonight. And again, this is just someone who was watching from home on TV. So you probably had a better story from your angle in arena, but I loved the one play where she took a shot, got her own rebound, took a shot again, missed. I think Lan got that second rebound, passed it out to her, and she got a 3. I'm like, this girl just took like 3 chances. And the best part is like the 2 first shots she took weren't like great looks, and then she hustled enough to get that third arc shot, sunk it. Her dad starts dancing. It was great to see that, like just the hustle of that whole play out. And then also when the mop was on the court, when they brought it down, and you could hear from the TV that Court was like, what the bleep is this? And I was just like, God, I love her. Like, just like no filter, says it how it is. Like, you can tell she's just such a competitor because, like, I'm sure in hindsight she's laughing at that moment, but it's like you broke up the play, you broke up the motion, and and that pissed her off, and I love it.
I think, like, Court after the game, I asked her about it, of just like, rough game, injured, and then you put this out, like, how are you able to do that? And she just goes, I have short-term memory. Like, she's like, I don't care what happened last game, I don't care what happened last shot, like, it's always just on to the next one. And it feeds into, like, Cheryl has been calling her Dory for most of the year from Finding Nemo. And like, it just feeds into that of like, I really don't think she thinks twice about it. Like, she misses the layup, gets her own rebound, misses the midi, gets it for a 3. And like, of course she's going to hit the 3, because to her, like, she's already forgot about the other 2.
Wow. I love that. That's a great way to, like, because
I wish I could live that way.
Yes, exactly. Because it's like people get in their own heads and they get hung up on the past. And like, if you can be Dory as a competitor, that's like the best mentality.
And the other side of it too is, I mean, Cheryl after that Atlanta game was pretty critical of Court, that she missed Lan on the roll to tie the game, that she didn't get that last shot off. I mean, she criticized their ball movement, like Cheryl. I will say all of it was fair. Like, no, like, no corrections from me. Cheryl kind of just laid out what happened. But then, like, their relationship is such that, like, Cheryl can be really critical of Courtney, like, publicly. And then the next game, she's talking about how proud she is that Courtney, like, stepped up and, like, how well she did. And I asked Cheryl about that kind of relationship too. And she's like, the best thing about Courtney is no matter what I ask her, she says, yes, ma'am. And, like, if I'm wrong, she will tell me I'm wrong.
Wow.
I don't think a lot of people have, like, a lot of people, let alone a lot of players, have the confidence to just kind of agree with, like, yep, if you think I should do this, I will do it. Here's why it might be wrong, but I'm still going to do it. And then also have the confidence to tell Cheryl she's wrong.
Yeah. Oh my God. And, like, that's impressive because you know that, like, Cheryl is just, I mean, she's an intimidating person for all the best reasons. Like, she's really, really good at her job and intense, and has the most. She has 4 WNBA championships under her belt. Yep. Like, she's earned the respect that she gets. But, like, that's intense to be able to call your own coach out.
And for Cheryl to be able to respond to that too. I mean, it's why this match has worked so well with Courtney being in Minnesota. It's like, I don't think there's a lot of teams that Courtney would have had this type of, you know, all-star season. I mean, she didn't play point guard until 2.5 years ago. Like,
that's crazy.
It's impressive. And I think it is, like, their relationship means a lot. MB, sure. I see your chat here. Why do you think Jess didn't play that much? I'll just be honest. Masha was awesome. I mean, Elle, I don't know if you have any other comments on it, but I think in games where Masha gives you, you know, 13 minutes, 13 points, you're probably getting less Shep. In games where Masha comes out and doesn't look good, you're probably getting more. But it does kind of suck for Shep. I mean, she goes from the second triple-double in team history to 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Before the game got so physical, I texted you being like, hey, tonight's title of EP is Masha's moment. Like, Masha was having such a great game. Most points she scored in a single game all season. So that was great. But it is crazy that you can be Jess Shepard, have come off such a good game and get such few minutes today. I was saying at one point, I was like, man, Coach Reeve is such a tough boss. Like, yeah. In what world do you perform that well and not get rewarded? But it's because just I don't know, like, I just feel like Coach, this is just, you know, obviously I don't know what she's actually thinking, but I'm just guessing, like, Coach Reeve just knows her players so well. She knows this game so well that when she can just read the room. So she's just like, hey, Masha's on fire. Like, I'm rolling with this. And I know that sounds simple, but I just think just because you have an amazing game doesn't mean you're, like, a favorite overnight.
Todd makes a good point here too, that Shep did play 40 minutes last night. She literally did not step off the court during a second of gameplay. So I mean, just having been around Shep, I would assume she was not tired because she's, like, the consummate professional, but, like, she did get 40 minutes last night. That's obnoxious. I do Elle, like, you know, I can't remember who asked it because they were sitting behind me and I voices are tough for me, but someone asked Cheryl after the game of just, like, what the chemistry of this team is like. And Cheryl kind of, like, didn't, like, correct him, but just said, you know, when she's, like, in team building mode, she's always talking about, like, the chemistry, how it's going to mix, like, these personalities. And she says the team refers to it as, like, it's a friendship. And I think that means something. Like, when you're legitimate outside of work friends with your coworkers, I'll be honest, I don't think Jess cared that she didn't play. Like,
totally.
I think she was probably pumped for Masha. I mean, that's just the read I get of this team. I don't know if you're on the same boat.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that for a while. I think it's crazy to me that like on social media, if you follow every individual Lynx player on Instagram, you'll see that these guys go out together, they go to the
Mhm.
mall together, they karaoke together on off nights, they travel together when there's like a big break in the middle of the season. Like they're truly friends, and you don't see that chemistry, that kind of deep chemistry on like any other team. Um, like they're off-season friends too. And I think that just really goes a long way.
It does. I mean, I will always remember Alana Smith played for the Australian team in the Olympics last year.
Hmm.
And after the break, we kind of asked her, how was it getting back here? And she was like, the entire time I was in the Olympics, I couldn't wait to come back and play.
Hmm.
And like, that's crazy, right? And for some
Yeah.
people, like, you could be like, oh, and be a cynic and be like, oh, they're just saying that. But like, when everyone on the team says stuff like that all the time, it eventually just isn't like media savviness. Also, like Court and T aren't very like media savvy. They just lay it out there. So like if they're saying it, it's probably true. If
Right.
anyone's watched Stud Buds, you know. Elle, I'm gonna throw us to one more ad read here. If anyone in YouTube or X, if you guys have questions in the chat, if you want us to touch on something, feel free. If not, I'm thinking we'll probably just preview the Seattle game. And Dejanay kind of looked a little nicked up today too. So
Yeah.
like to touch on that. But if anyone else wants us to go a different path, by all means, we are malleable. And we're back with another ad read. This time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. Yeah, .com 2 episodes in a row. Don't know why it's all of a sudden in there. I did nothing to edit it, but it's there now. So yet again, ignoring your problems until they go away worked out for me. Elle, I'd love your thoughts on it because Dejanay didn't get a ton of minutes tonight. Just
No.
let's see here, 15. I'll be honest, like her first rotation in the first half, she looked like bad, which is the first time I can say like she did not look like Dejanay Carrington. I mean, she doubled and gave up a wide open three. She didn't rotate and gave up like a lane for a layup. Looked a lot better in the second half, but I just kind of wonder, she's wearing a hand brace. If there's something going on, what did you see?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think out loud at some point during the game, I was like, gosh, I literally forgot she was on the roster for 2 seconds just because she just didn't make any splash tonight. And when she did, it was typically an error. And so I was just bummed. I'm ready for her to pop off because as someone who's watched her on an opposing team for so many years and thinking she's just a menace, I'm like, when are we going to see the menace return on this team? So, it could be the hand, but yeah, I'm waiting for her to pop off.
Yeah, it was just weird. That was kind of my impression of it. It was just like her energy levels seemed to be there, and like she was aggressive on offense, and it was just a weird performance that I haven't seen from her yet. Like I'll be fully transparent. I wasn't watching a lot of Dallas Wings games earlier in the year. I did watch a lot of Connecticut last year, and she was awesome for Connecticut, but it's just a weird game. And again, like she's wearing rock tape on her shoulder. She has the bum hand, it looks like. I guess that's kind of what I'm chalking it up to more than anything. Kayla's Pink Braids, who still has not changed her name. Kayla's Pink Braids, if you don't know, Elle, is one of the Lynx community members, and she changes her Twitter handle every like maybe week and a half, and it's always something funny. but then I always double take. K-Mac was showing off the scratch on her arm. She was so mad. I think that's why she got the tech. Like, honestly, I think when she did that like whirl around elbow to Lexi Hall, I think she got the tech for like yelling at the ref that she got like grabbed. I can't confirm it because no one tells us anything, but she was pretty ticked off about that, Elle.
100%. But I will say, like, that was definitely the most like egregious or obvious elbow swing of the night.
It was obnoxious. Like,
yeah. And like Lexi's throwback, like if anyone watches like RuPaul's Drag Race, they'll know this. Like Lexi did a death drop. Like one leg is bent back, the other leg was straight. Like it was a true death drop, not for the right reasons, but her form was great.
Her form was Marie drops in the chat over on Twitter. Dejanay was getting her leg worked on in the other game. See, that's what I it's a conspiracy theory until she shows up on an injury report, but like I just it was weird. Like it could be, you know, just she's banged up. Todd also drops in the chat here as a fembud defender, which I love that she has inherited the fembud as her name.
Too.
First game with Fee from the arena, looks like she was very active on defense. And you could tell, like, offensively, she wasn't used to playing with Fee. Like, there's a couple times where I think she threw like an over the head entry pass that was like a foot high.
Yes.
There's another one where she did this kind of like push shot in the paint, and it just looked. Again, I'm not saying like Dejanay's bad. Like, I genuinely really like her as a player. And like, having talked to her, she's a very smart individual. It was just a weird game. It's just weird.
And there was like some defensive efforts there that I was like, whoa, if that paid off, it would have been sick. But it didn't. Like I saw moments where she like almost turned over the ball and stole it, but it just didn't play out where it should have.
Yeah. Which, again, conspiracy theory until it's on the injury report. So this is just my conspiracy theory. I have no reporting behind it. I think she might just be dinged up, and that's why she's half a step late and maybe made a couple mistakes. But we'll find out against Seattle, which, I mean, Seattle right now is just kind of reeling. What are you kind of looking for in this Seattle game?
Man, I'm excited to see, obviously, two really good teams that are taking on each other. I cannot wait to see Nneka show up and show out. That's what she's been doing all season. And Skylar Diggins is a favorite player of mine. So I'm really excited to see her play too. I think it's going to be a tough one. And this is going to be the moments. I mean, today, a physical game, I was also scared for Fee's health because I'm like, we must protect her at all costs. But the tougher the competition, the more I'm going to be like, all right, we got our playoff spot clinched. Like, let's protect Fee. Like, we cannot have her getting injured. So, yeah, I'll just be a little worried about that.
Well, that's kind of the story, right? Maybe 2 games and they clinch the 1 seed. I mean, how much do you play Fee in these games? How much do you prioritize, you know, this Fever game, knowing that there's a couple against the Valkyries coming up and one against Dallas and a little bit easier of a schedule? Ben also notes here, glad that they have 3 days off. Seattle plays the Fever on Tuesday night. I mean, that always helps too. And
for sure,
I mean, the travel from Seattle to Minnesota is also not like the most fun. So definitely, I think it'll be interesting to see how Cheryl manages. One, like, if Fee's healthy, Fee is going to want to play. Like, Fee is not a put me on the bench coach, like, and save me.
Definitely
like, she's going to want to get minutes. So how do you balance an MVP candidate wanting to get minutes, but also you might have the 1 seed locked up with 6 games left?
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with you. I feel like Fee refuses to to take a break. Like that was probably a really hard 3-week stretch for her. She's such a natural competitor. So especially if this matchup will be a fight, no doubt. And if it is, Fee's not going to want to sit for it. So yeah.
Rogel throws in the chat here, McBride should have gotten a tech for the elbow. She threw on Hull. Yeah. I mean, she tagged her with that one. It looked like from the in arena ones. And she did technically get a tech after the elbow she threw on Hall, because she was like, I don't think it was related to the elbow, or again, at least no one explained it to the media. But yeah, that was a tough one. That was a good elbow.
Also, I'm curious, as someone, since you were in arena, why didn't, when they challenged that foul on Courtney and they won the challenge, why didn't Courtney go to the free throw line?
I have no clue, because I thought that was going to be like a transition take foul or something. And it's this way in the NBA too. This isn't just a WNBA thing, but like, unless the ref tells the PA announcer, like, none of us know anything. So I have no clue, which is obnoxious. I do want to end on this one here. Marie saying maybe we should start the rumor that Dejanay is tanking to avoid doing the dance after games. I love that this is a storyline, because like Dejanay, I mean, she's talked about it like when she got here, of like, you know, she's a different person. And I love that, like, she humored the team and did the dance, and now everybody is still immediately back on her about the dance. So like, Lynx fans continue to peer pressure everybody to fall in line and dance after games.
Yes, she like posted something saying like, y'all notice everything. Like, girl, welcome to the most insane fandom in the W. Like, Lynx fans are no joke. They will call you out.
I say it all the time. Like, I will get DMs from like fans who like have like cell phone pictures of like BC wearing a boot and be like, is she injured? I'm like, how do you get these? Like, who do you know? Like, zoomed in from like the social media that the Lynx posted all the way in on somebody who has like a brace on their shoulder. And it's like, you guys are, one, the best, because that's awesome. And two, a little crazy, which, like, you know, I'll end it this way. Like, Cheryl, I asked after the game of just, you know, she's been here since 2010. And like, when I was in high school way back in the early 2000s, like, the Lynx were a hipster thing. Like, the only people that watched the Lynx were like the hipsters. Not even like the girl basketball players watched the Lynx. It was literally just a niche indie thing. And to see it grow from that to this, Cheryl was pretty honest of just like, I think a lot of other teams envy like what the Lynx have as fans. And Elle, I mean, you're from Minnesota too, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm assuming you have the same interpretation. And I mean, you cover all women's sports. I feel like the Frost are even starting to get this type of like frenzied following.
For sure. I do think there's a lot of overlap between Frost and Lynx fans too, which I love. Like, a rising tide lifts all ships. We love that saying in women's sports. But for me, what stands out is, I think I always get goosebumps when I see basketball team, like young girl basketball teams, go to Lynx games and they're wearing their like school jersey or their team jersey. And what I would have given as a young basketball player growing up in Minnesota to have done that and like come to a Lynx game. And I could have, the team existed, but it just wasn't like a thing yet. The hype hadn't taken over, and it just wasn't something that our coaches were thinking, oh, this would be a great bonding activity. So I love that that's what that exists now, and that these young players are coming out and have something to aspire to. It's great. It's wonderful. But man, I feel like what a missed opportunity when the team existed when I was in high school and middle school and could have gone with my teammates, but I just didn't.
I mean, that's same. Like, I was a basketball fanatic when I was in high school and college, and like it just wasn't something that like you'd even think of. And that sucks because, like, as Ben mentions here in the chat, like those 2011 to 2017 teams did not have crowds like this. Like, they did not have even close to the level of recognition. And like, that's when I was in college, and it wasn't even a thought for, like, I think a lot of casual basketball fans to go to a Lynx game. And then you fast forward 10 years and like Lan and BC are talking about how they go into coffee shops and everyone knows who they are. And it's not like this happened. It's not like this is like we're talking about like the 1970s and stuff. This is like 10 years ago. Like, Waylon could like just put on a hoodie and go anywhere in Minneapolis without being recognized. And now it's just completely different, which, I mean, if you want to say it's a sign of progress, that's for the league, like 100%. And that leads me into my last question, because we did play the Fever, and I am now starting this as a bit where anyone who comes on, I'm going to ask this. Caitlin Clark has played 13 games this year, which, contrary to popular belief, the WNBA this season is breaking a lot of records. And yes, Caitlin Clark helped bring in fans, but she's only played in 13 games. So this is the league thriving and flourishing because they have likable stars, good product, all of that stuff. Again, Caitlin Clark, 13 games. How many MVP votes do you think she'll get?
Oh, God.
I did this with Mitch yesterday, and I set the over-under at 1.5.
Well, I don't even know how to, like, where to start with a number to toss out, because I just don't know, like what's the general amount of votes that these, like, I don't even know where the numbers are in general. But I do think that she's going to get a stupid amount for playing 13
then
games.
Probably more than
1.5. Yeah.
I'm just asking that because I just think it's funny that, like, you know, people that vote for the MVP are a lot media. I think the coaches have a vote in the WNBA, and like, she probably will, despite
for sure
not playing a lot of games, despite what Asia's doing, FEE, AT, and it's interesting.
It really is. I mean, I think it's just like, you have such a younger fan base, and they're like tunnel vision, which you can't blame them. Like, when you're young, like, you figure out who your star is and you don't care. Like, you're like, that's my favorite. And I just think that that's where, like, you tell me in arena tonight, like, how many Clark jerseys did you see? And these are all probably native Minnesotans that were just there to literally see her sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me of a story. So at the Commissioner's Cup game, I ran into Jillian Hiscock, who's the owner of A Bar of Their Own, and a friend of mine. And she told me that she has season tickets, or she was sitting in a friend's season tickets. So she was pretty close to courtside. And she told me that a person sitting next to her was just sitting on live stream on Clark the whole game, who was sitting on the bench. Caitlin Clark didn't play in the Commissioner's Cup. And this person was just live streaming Clark on the bench the whole game. I'm like, that is kind of creepy behavior.
I think that's like the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, like, aside, like, I think, like, if there's all the narratives of, like, is she good for the game, all of that stuff, like, yes, she is bringing eyes to a game. Like, it is important that new viewers get introduced to a product. So, like, in that sense, Caitlin, yes, has been good. I think she's going to be a multi-time all-star. Like, she is a very talented player. All of that stuff aside, like, the cult following she has is a little much at times. And, that's the world we live in now, where, like, athletes, and I mean, Anthony Edwards has a cult following too. There's the Naz Reid cult following, and it's just an interesting time to be alive, where these people are put you know, and we're like about the same age. So like, I feel like when we were growing up, there wasn't as much social media. So like,
Yeah.
NBA players and these people were like thought of like on a pillar, but you couldn't really interact with them, right? Like, unless you went to a
Right.
jersey signing or something, you're never going to meet Kevin Garnett. Now there's so much content out there on these people that like it just gets kind of weird sometimes.
Yeah, and I think what annoys me too is one, that person who is recording that video paid hundreds of dollars for that seat just to do that, to not even be paying attention to a great game. Well, for the Fever. And then what also annoys me is I feel like so many of these people maybe aren't even Caitlin Clark fans, but they just want to up their follower count on social
Yeah.
media. And they're like, I'm just going to do this so that I get views, I get traction, I get clout on my account. And so there's this disingenuous side to the hype that I dislike as well.
Todd says a lot of Iowa license plates tonight. I will say, so I was at the first game last year where she came to Target Center, and I would say it was probably like a 60-40 split, like Lynx fans to Fever fans. Tonight, it was probably like a 75-25. Like I feel like it was a pretty good Lynx crowd. It was actually interesting. Like, a lot of the upper bowl were more Caitlin Clark fan, or, you know, a lot more Iowa stuff and Fever stuff up there. But like, that's because those tickets got open for like overflow, and I'm guessing people just bought tickets. But yeah, it was interesting. Todd, I'm gonna tribute my colleague Terry Horseman on this, because he also pointed out that, you know, Caitlin Clark walking on the court and talking to refs and all that. It is not against the rules. It is kind of annoying though.
Agree.
She is not the only one that does it. She is not even close to the only one that does it. It is like a plague on NBA and WNBA, where they just kind of wander around and talk to the refs, and it also drives me nuts.
Agreed. Yeah, I remember at one point she came over. It was when Kelsey Mitchell got the shepherd elbow and her lip was swollen, and Clark got off the bench and like just was kind of like head shaking, like, and looking at the refs, and I'm like, girl, just you're injured, relax, sit down.
It's just like, I don't know when that changed, but like at some point, like, injured players just started to become like a personality on the bench.
Yeah,
And I don't understand it, but like, yeah, I don't know. Last comment I just want to get here is McKinney says, when the Lynx team started, they gave preference to the Wolves season ticket holders, which delayed him becoming a season ticket holder because he holds a grudge. And what I will say is that is one of the best things about Minnesotans is we hold grudges to our graves. So I am glad that you fit into the Minnesota culture. And Elle, anything you want to plug, anything you want to promote, anything you got coming out on women in sports, and what do you have?
Well, well, per usual, we always have a new women in sports story every Monday at 5 p.m. So tomorrow I will be at the State Fairgrounds. Come visit me at the WCCO booth if you're going to be out there, and I will have a new women in sports story airing at 5. Don't have a lot of details to share yet, but as you know, Andrew, I've told you that I have a women in sports podcast that's going to be launching October 1st. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'll have more details to share probably next time I'm on, but yeah, I'm super excited.
Let's go. Ben, will the Stud Buds be on WCCO tomorrow?
Okay, I not gonna lie, we all love each other. The four main channels, and sorry, this is a guest appearance by my cat Lou. But I have put in a request for the Stud Buds to come by tomorrow. I know they're going to be on Care 11 at 6:30 with Jana Shortle, which is super exciting. And not going to lie, I probably will go stop by and just watch
Jana's
that all
also
unfold.
delightful.
Yeah, Jana's the best. So I would love to just watch the chaos of that unfold, and I can't wait. So I'll probably be there, but we're hoping we can get the stud buds to stop by WCCO beforehand for a quick appearance. So the request has been put in. We'll see what happens. Everyone meet Lou.
Carly or Cheryl, if you're listening, the request has been put in, and WCCO would like the stud buds tomorrow. All I have is we are going to be doing a bonus for people that are on our YouTube and follow us. I am going to have Noah Dazzle on Tuesday around like 11 a.m. She is going to be giving us about 40 minutes of WNBA content. She covered Connecticut last year. This year, she's kind of covering the entire league, but we're going to kind of just talk playoffs and have a good conversation. So anyone who wants to drop by and be a part of that show, more than welcome. That'll be Tuesday around 11-ish, I'd say. And then next Sunday, I will be at the K-Fan booth at the State Fair from 11 to 1 with Max Fuller. So come by and say hi to me next Sunday as well. I will be miserable because I am not a State Fair person, but to get on the air and talk about the Lynx, I will brave the outdoors and go to the fair.
Wow, what a sacrifice.
It's, man, if there's one thing I can say going to the State Fair is, I was telling my wife today, because I was also on K-Fan today. I was telling my wife today, I was like, I think this is the first time in 10 years that I've been to the State Fair, and it's to go talk about the Lynx on K-Fan. So this doesn't happen without Lynx fans. So shout out to all of you guys. You're the reason this network exists, the reason why I am going to the State Fair for the first time in a decade, and the reason Elle's here with her cat, who I already forgot the name of. Please plug your cat.
I can't wait to plug my cat. I've been waiting for you to ask that question. Okay, everyone, this is Lou. She's a girl with a boy name. Her name is Lou. I adopted her in St. Louis 8 years ago, and I just named her after the city. So, yeah, it was actually one of the fun facts I told Napheesa Colliers when I first met her for a one-on-one interview. I said, I know you're from St. Louis by way of Central Missouri, and I adopted a cat from St. Louis and named her Lou, and she really liked that.
That doesn't surprise me at all, because Fee is like the nicest human being in the planet. Like,
she really is.
She will probably remember that for the rest of her life, because Fee also remembers everything. So,
yeah, she's the sweetest. I mean, the fact that she just like remembers meeting me once, like that goes a long way. Again, MVP material.
Yes, Fee MVP. For the 340 people that have swung by the live to check it out, appreciate all of you guys. Again, none of this happens without Lynx fans who are starved for content and will listen to a 48-minute rambling live stream with cat interruptions, Caitlin Clark talk, and a heaping helpful dose of Napheesa Colliers. So everyone, thank you. We'll be back after the Fee Storm game. They play the Storm next. We'll be back after the Storm game. And thanks again.
Thank you.